This is the book of Sirach, also called Ecclesiasticus 39 and 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. Right? I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and say peace, mercy, and blessings unto all the hopeful elect. The true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and that means He exists, or He is to be. The true name of the Son is Yahweh Shai, and that means He is the deliverer. All right, and we are the Hebrew Israelites. There are 12 tribes that consist of our nation. Today we're being called by different names, and that the Bible refers to as bywords and proverbs. They call us Black, Haitian, Jamaican, West Indian, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Cuban, Dominican, Venezuelan, Brazilian. All right, but we're Native American, Seminole Indian. Okay, but we're those people that make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel. All right, and the self-proclaimed white man, the Ish people. All right, they're Esau, Edom, Amalek, and according to Bible prophecy, they are the end of the world. All right, Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Okay, and look up the definition of the word prophecy. It means a prediction. All right. Look at the Merriam-Webster. A prediction of something to come. Okay, the function or vocation of a prophet, specifically the inspired declaration of divine will and purpose. All right, now let's go to the online, to the etymology of the word. The function of a prophet, inspired utterance, the prediction of future events. Okay, so that's what we're occupied in. We're occupied in the prediction of future events, because like I said, when you read 2 Edges 6 and 7, it says Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So we're looking for the end of Esau and the beginning of Jacob. It's going to be an everlasting kingdom under Yahweh Shai, King David, 144,000. All right, the governing body, the 1/3, right? It says, go down, it says from Greek prophetia, gift of interpreting the will of the gods. Okay? Well, actually, when you break it down, it's a compound word. Pro meaning before, see to say. All right? So we're saying this before it happens. All right? The utterance, the prediction of future, inspired utterance, the prediction of future events. All right? And one of the main future events to come is the hour of temptation, or the mark of the beast. Right? And I found this video. Let's see if it'll open. It might still be in YouTube, actually. Let's see if I can bring that up. Okay. There it goes.
ID system tied in with payments.
Now, this is from this channel here. It's Crossroads with Joshua Phillips. All right. And this is digital ID plan for Babylon being launched in America. It was uploaded on 12/9 a couple of days ago, right? So I'm going to back it up about to the 7-minute mark. Let it play.
Automatically fine you if you step even a tiny bit out of line. That's what we're moving towards with this. In fact, there are even private companies doing the thing speeding right now already as we speak in the United States. Now, this also comes with other concerns, and we can look at the Chinese Communist Party's social credit system. It's kind of like the worst case scenario. Maybe it'll get worse. Currently, that's the worst we have. In China, under the Chinese communist regime, basically the social credit system gives every single person a score. Are you a good citizen? Did you wake up today and give your salute to Mao Zedong
And this whole social credit system, digital ID, the whole A to the I, that is all, pretty much tools to help build this MOTB system. Now I'm not saying that the digital ID is the MOTB. All right, the rice device, the the bark of the east. Okay, I'm not saying that, but we have to speak in code these days. But just read Revelation 13 and on 15 to the end. I'm going to get it in a minute, but I'm not saying that that's the digital ID or but it's definitely going to be used to support it. It's all one big system. But like the nail in the dagger, NBA term, the nail in the coffin is the rice device. That is the MOTB, right?
bow down to the CCP and then go work your 996, right?
Actually, let me back up a little because he's going into some lot of good information, right? Now, I was trying to find this article he was going into, but I couldn't.
All your info, all of your biometrics, your facial information, your financial information, potentially even your internet activity, your overall digital footprint. You're talking like real ID on the internet. You want to go to a website, well, people might say offensive things there, and they want to know exactly who you are if those things are said. Everything is tied to you. You're accountable for everything on the internet. And I don't know if a new government gets elected and they decide that that's a little extreme, or you've said you've spread disinformation, maybe you'll be punished, as we saw.
Yeah, you will be punished. And that goes back to the interview with Aaron Russo and David Rockefeller. Take the haragma, and if you buck up against the system, you say anything against the system, you do anything that the system doesn't like, they just shut you off. All right. And the way they set the A to the I up is they're gonna have it automatically where the AI can detect it, and they just shut you off. And it makes sense because the chat, the apostles be saying ask the chat, and they know everything about Great Millstone, which shows you that we're being watched. All right, and what we're saying, the A to the I is watching it. They know and they're flagging it. So in the time to come, if you say something about this man, he's going to flag it and cut you off from the system. That's where society is headed. And China has been testing ground for what they want to do in the West. And now Alaska, which is getting close to home, is a huge testing ground of what they're getting ready to do in the States, right?
In the last few years. Basically, what this will do, it'll be a centralized location, all collected in the same place, monitored by an artificial intelligence system that basically sees everything. And that's the drawback of AI on this level. Nothing slips through the cracks.
Yeah, nothing slips through the cracks. All right? that total control,
If AI is looking for problems on, let's say the IRS forms, your taxes, and there's one little thing off, the AI is going to flag it. It's a very no mercy type of law enforcement. There are some areas where even, for example, it's tied to your car. If you're driving and you go through a red light or you speed, you go 1 mile per hour over the speed limit, it's gonna notice, it's gonna send you a ticket. There are countries in the world that already have this. And having a system like this that's basically all-encompassing, all-seeing, and will automatically fine you if you step even a tiny bit out of line. That's what we're moving towards with this. In fact, there are even private companies doing the thing speeding right now already as we speak in the United States. Now, this also comes with other concerns, and we can look at the Chinese Communist Party's social credit system as kind of like the worst case scenario. Maybe it'll get worse. Currently, that's the worst we have.
It will get worse. All right, because this is just the social credit score, that's not the MOTB. The MOTB is people putting the rice device inside them. The link to the neural, the brain hips. All right, putting chips in your brain and in your body to connect everything. Right, so the whole beast system, the groundwork is pretty much laid. So all they have to do is roll out this rice device technology. That's all they have to do, And you have Mr. Kill Bill saying that, or maybe Elon saying that, next couple of years, it's not going to need a smartphone because they want to turn you into the smartphone by putting the C hip in you, right? The miracles.
In China, under the Chinese communist regime, basically the social credit system gives every single person. Welcome to Crossroads. The FBI is working ID system tied in with payments and tied in with monitoring of every sort, because that is what we risk falling into. We'll see if how far it goes in the United States. We'll see if anybody stops it in Alaska. Maybe it'll just be more government efficiency. I don't know. But they are rolling it out. They are rolling it out now. So we shall see.
It's already set up in Alaska. All right. I googled it with Google and look what answered me. It says the A to the I, the overview. Yes, Alaska is a leader in offering a voluntary mobile ID, which is MID app, which is a digital version of your physical license, allowing you to share specific info securely. While the U.S. is moving towards broader digital ID adoption, with Apple launching its own digital ID and Apple Wallet for TSA checkpoints at major airports and the Transportation Security Administration preparing to accept compliant digital IDs nationally through physical IDs remain required for now. What's happening in Alaska? My Alaska MID, the state offers a digital ID companion to your physical license, letting you control what information like age verification is shared. Okay, voluntary and companion. It's optional, right? Not a replacement for your physical card, and businesses aren't required to accept it. Gradualism and not required to accept it yet, but pretty soon everything is going to go cashless, digital, right? Though law enforcement does. What's happening in the U.S.? Apple Digital ID. Apple launched Digital ID in November 2025, starting with TSA checkpoints at many airports for domestic travel, with plans for more uses. TSA's role The TSA is working on accepting digital ID that meet federal standards for identity verification, broader rollout. The goal is a national digital ID system, with Alaska serving as an early testing ground, integrating AI and payment function into its systems, according to a podcast from the Epoch Times. So we're getting very close. All right. All praise, honor, and glory. We're getting very close to the hour of temptation and to the MOTB. All right. And great evil is coming. All right. So we do these lessons to blow up the trumpet to warn our people, to let them know to repent. You know, trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Don't trust in this man. Don't go down to Egypt for help. He wants to put you in digital slavery. You know, Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people. It's gonna get so bad. We're gonna need divine intervention on that. And that's talking about the archangel. You know, and that's different angels that the Lord's gonna have on different missions. You know, when we read the book of Tobit, you know, it was sent to Tobit and Tobiah was sent Raphael so they could be healed. When this time is war is coming, so the Lord's gonna send Michael to help us, you know, to fight for us, man. You know, it says, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered. So a very terrible time is coming, but it's at this time great miracles are gonna come too. All right, great deliverance, right? Everyone that shall be found written in the book of life, and that's where you want to be. That's where it's at, man. All right, Lord willing, we be written in that book of life, so we don't get cast in the lake of fire, man. Because ultimately, that's the end of Babylon Great. nuclear destruction. Thus said the Bible. All right. These words were long written down, like Johnny Cash said. We're just reading them, you know.
But they are rolling it out. They are rolling it out now. So we shall see. Now, look, in other news, the FDA is now making changes to vaccine laws and vaccine schedules and getting rid of
Let me see.
some of them. We'll be talking more about information. Maybe you'll be punished, as we saw during the last few years. Basically, what this will do, it'll be a centralized location, all collected in the same place, monitored by an artificial intelligence system that basically sees everything. And that's the drawback of AI on this level. Nothing slips through the cracks. If AI is looking for problems on, let's say the IRS forms, your taxes, and there's one little thing off, the AI is going to flag it. It's a very no mercy type of law enforcement. There are some areas where even, for example, it's tied to your car. If you're driving and you go through a red light or you speed, you go 1 mile per hour over the speed limit, it's gonna notice, it's gonna send you a ticket. There are countries in the world that already have this. And having a system like this that's basically all-encompassing, all-seeing, and will automatically fine you if you step even a tiny bit out of line, that's what we're moving towards with this. In fact, there are even private companies doing the thing speeding right now already as we speak in the United States. Now, this also comes with other concerns, and we can look at the Chinese Communist Party's social credit system. It's kind of like the worst case scenario. Maybe it'll get worse. Currently, that's the worst we have. In China, under the Chinese communist regime, basically, the social credit system gives every single person a score. Are you a good citizen? Did you wake up today and give your salute to Mao Zedong and bow down to the CCP and then go work your 996, right? 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Did you fuss at the factory? Did you speak to your fellow comrades and tell them, onward, comrade, toward the grand future? Well, if you didn't, and if you believe in democracy or religion, or you're unhappy with a government policy, you might get your social credit score docked. You might get a lower score. In fact, you might get such a low score that you're denied from the system entirely. And this is happening to a lot of Chinese now. Because the social credit score is tied in with these services you can access, you'll find very quickly you start to lose the ability to use public transportation. You start to lose the ability.
And that's how it's going to be. If you go back and watch that movie In Time, that they had the time on their hands, which is pretty much a foreshadowing, a metaphor, whatever you want to call it, of people having the rice device, the Haragma. In order for her to catch the bus, she had to scan it. In order for them to, they had they showed you the smart cities. They showed you a lot in that movie, man. All right? Pretty much how they had them under total control. And that's what they want to do with all of these different systems. That's what the digital idea about, the UBI, all right, the A.I, the MOT, it's all going to work together, all right, to put people into a digital prison, right?
To access government-run, state-run dating apps or financial services. If you go further into it, eventually you'll find that even apartments will not give you apartments. Go further into it and they debank you. And that's a problem because they also
debank you, that no man might buy or sell. Right? Let's go to the prophecy. This is Revelation 13 and 16 on down. And he calls it all right? Both small and great, and that means that literally, all right, from infants and newborns, all right, to people up in age that are elderly, all right, toddlers, kids, teenagers, adults, all right, people that are so-called, think about small and great, from the janitor to the CEO of the company, all right, rich and poor, all right, no middle class, and we see that now. You either have it or you don't, right? Free and bond, whether you're in prison or not, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark of the name of the beast. This is something physical. All right, this is something physical that they want to put inside of you. 18. Here's wisdom. Let him that had understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and 6. When you go into this word, 603 score and 6, it takes you to look at the interlinear. Takes you to Chastai Sigma.
Strong's G 5516. Chi, Xi, Stigma. Chi, Xi, Stigma.
Now, you gotta go to the root word of that, stigma.
Strong's G 4742. Stigma. Stigma.
And that means to stick or to prick. All right? A mark pricked in or branded upon the body to ancient Oriental usage. Slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master, all right, or commander, branded or pricked or cut into their bodies. And this is what they used to do in ancient Rome. They showed you that with the gladiators, right? What cut into their bodies to indicate what master general they belonged to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. All right? So, in this day and age, it's going to be, all right, this thing. There it goes. All right? There it goes. That's what they want. That's what they want to do. Put your ass in digital prison. This is what's coming. It's one of the major prophecies that we're warned about. It's not a game. All right. Let's see if I can open this. Yep.
What the Chinese Communist Party called
The government
go broke, they got deleted. In China, tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money, but because the system erased them.
Imagine a society where everything you do, everything you say, and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what
That's what's coming to Babylon. That's why they're laying out all of these systems and introducing them to you through gradualism. All right? Shit, with each passing second, more and more of your freedoms are being stripped away from you.
the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people and create a system of punishments that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system.
Yeah, it's you know, if you got the eyes to see, China is definitely a testing ground, right?
Decides who's trustworthy. But if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working. You can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally.
Exactly, and that's what's coming. You know, that no man might buy or sell if you don't have this, and if you do get it, and you still buck up against them, they just cut you off anyway.
That's a problem because they also have digital currency. They have the digital yuan. So if you're debanked, you can't make payments. You can't buy food. You can't rent a home. And a lot of people are facing this right now in China. They're being home.
Sounds familiar? That no man might buy or sell. All right? And that's what's coming on the world. It's going to come upon, it's not just going to be in China. It's going to come upon the whole world. This time, the Bible refers to it as the hour of temptation. This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. Right? And Lord willing, that's us and the fellow believers, the word of the Lord's patience is what? Suffering, right? Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this time is going to come upon all the world. It's an hour of temptation. Why? Because temptation means enticement to sin, and the world's going to be put in that situation where they don't have nothing, or they can't pay their bills, they can't pay their rent, they're homeless, they don't have any food. They're going to be tempted to take this because that's what's going to get you access to comfort, a home, or food, heat, things of that nature, So look up some words in the scripture or passage, if you will. Let's look up this word patience.
Strong's G 5281. Upamane. Upamane.
It says, 1. In the New Testament, the characteristic of a man who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith and piety by even the greatest trials and sufferings. And that's the elect. And Scripture does say, in your patience, possess to your souls. Patience means to suffer. Right? I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. The Most High is going to keep you. Right?
Strong's G 3986. Pyrasmas. Pyrasmas.
And that means A, an enticement to sin. Temptation, whether arising from desires or from the outward circumstances. And that's exactly what's going to come upon the world, man. Because when people put in this predicament, and Esau tell them the only way out is to take this, that's enticing you. All right? Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So let's look up this word try.
Strong's G 3985. Pyrazzo. Pyrazzo.
All right? Which says, all right, to try whether a thing can be done. If you look up the root word here, the root word here is para.
Strong's G 3984. Pyra. Pyra.
If you look up root word etymology from base G 4008 through the idea of piercing, that's a dagger. All right? That's the nail in the coffin. This is something physical that's coming. All right? It's going to be the rights device. All right? And the digital ID, a system that they're laying, the social credit system in China. That's just foreshadowing the groundwork of what's to come. All right? Because all those systems is just going to support CHIP. All right? The 8.I, all those systems are going to help this thing run smoothly. Right? And let me see. Go back here and see.
They're becoming homeless. There's nothing they can do. They can't use the payment.
Back it up. And that's the time of temptation, man. You have a family, wife, children, and you lose that because.
So if you're debanked, you can't make payments. You can't buy food. You can't rent a home. And a lot of people are facing this right now in China. They're becoming homeless. There's nothing they can do. They can't use the payment system, and they're homeless. And I've been saying for a while, the new gulag, unlike under the Soviet Union where they send you out to Siberia in some frozen prison, the new gulag is you are denied the entire system itself. You can't interact with it. You're pushed out of it. And basically you're homeless, you can't buy anything, and you have to beg for food because you can't even buy a loaf of bread.
That no man might buy or sell. This is the hour of temptation that's coming on the world, man. All right? Repent. Seek Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that you might be saved. This is Isaiah 55 and verse 6. Seek ye the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he's near. Pretty soon you won't be able to access the internet. You won't be able to, go to the highways and hedges, to the streets and learn what the scriptures is saying from the men of the Lord, right? So you gotta seek the Lord while you may be found, you know? Verse 7, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways, said the Lord. All right? So that's the message, man. Return to the Lord, because shit is about to get real. And it's going to come a day when people are going to, they're going to call the Lord, but the Lord ain't going to answer them in that day. Because the Lord has his hand stretched out now. You're supposed to seek the Lord while he may be found, which implies there's going to be a time where he won't be able to be found. Right?
Loaf of bread. That is the future gulag, and we already see it in China. That is the dangerous side of where we do not want to go with a digital ID system tied in with payments and tied in with monitoring of every sort.
It's going to be worse. The rights device, that's going to make everything worse.
Because that is what we risk falling into. We'll see if how far it goes in the United States. We'll see if anybody stops it in Alaska.
They're not going to stop it, because ultimately, it's written. And Esau has a plan to put you back in slavery, but it's really the Lord, it's the Lord's chip, So I pray this has brought some edification. I'm going to end it here. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Again, double honors, to the apostles and elders, great millstone. I've learned this truth from. Shalom to the hopeful elect.